Ah, yes. It's that time again. The UEFA Champions League is back. Or at least the group stages after enthralling qualifying rounds. The 68th edition of Europe's premier club football tournament. And the 31st season known as the UEFA Champions League. So who are the favorites heading into this season? Well, nobody would have guessed that Real Madrid would have won it last year. But as football heritage goes, Real won it once again. Who will win it this year? Can Man City or PSG finally win the UEFA Champions League? Will Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Juventus, Milan, Inter Milan, all the big teams, Barcelona with all their money they got? Who will win the UEFA Champions League this year and who will get out of the group stage? And we have some tough groups to predict. So you know the drill. You give your group stage predictions in the comment section down below. You hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as we're on the road to 4,000 subscribers. Further ado, let's get to the predictions. Oh boy, this is going to be a tough one. Group A, we have Ajax, Liverpool, Napoli, and Rangers. In fourth position, I have Rangers. Very tough group to predict, and unfortunately it is going to be Rangers, even though I love this side, and you have to just praise Giovanni van Bronckhorst. Maybe he's not the greatest league manager, but when it comes to European nights, this guy knows how to get his tactics spot on and raise the level of his players. To understand that this is a big night, not just for the players, but for the fans. And you could just tell at Ibrox, my God, what an atmosphere. And my God, what an atmosphere they're going to bring for these 3 home games. They're going to have to continue those incredible nights in Ibrox on a European night because they're in a very tough group. Yes, they might have sold their good players in Calvin Bassey and obviously Joe Aribo, but they've added some quality. Malik Tillman and Kolak have brought some new rejuvenation to this squad. We don't know what the heck's going on with Alfredo Morelos, for example. When you look at James Tavernier, for example, my God, what a right back. We have an epic English right back duo in Trent and James Tavernier in this group. But I just think this squad, yes, they will compete. And yes, they will have an incredible night at Ibrox. I don't think it's going to be enough. But they could surprise. Do not be shocked if Rangers could surprise. But for me, they're in fourth position in the group. In third place, I have, unfortunately, the jersey I'm wearing, 94-95 UEFA Champions League winners, Ajax. Now, Schroeder's side won't change the Ajax philosophy for anybody. And we've known that about Ajax for many, many years. But defensively, they're not the strongest this season, even though they have Timber and Calvin Bassey, who are 2 good centre-backs. Bergwijn, Tadic, they have to step up. Because I think Antony is going to leave. For reportedly 100 million euros, Ajax are swimming in money at the moment. But when you lose players like Antony, Lisandro Martinez, for example, that is going to hurt the squad. Yes, Bergwijn is good, and yes, Calvin Bassey are good, but are they Antony and Lisandro Martinez at the moment? I don't really think so. So I feel like Ajax may struggle in the group, but no doubt they are going to give tough matches to Rangers, Napoli, and Liverpool. But I feel like a third place position, and Pasveer, the goalkeeper, is going to have to be immense in goal. Cannot make any mistakes if you're Pasveer. I love Bergwijn. Taylor is looking good as a midfielder. Tadic is one of my favorite players in Europe, but Ajax are in a little bit of a rebuild mode and just trying to find new players to develop. Ibrahim Brobbey come into the side. They're going to be good. I just fear for them just a little bit. So third position for Ajax. In second position, I have Napoli. A rejuvenated Napoli. A new look Napoli. Even though they've lost Insigne, Mertens, Ospina, Koulibaly, Petagna, they've added some new fresh players. And I love the look of this Napoli side. Yes, it's only Monza and Hellas Verona who they have beaten in the first 2 games, but my God, they look like a scary team going forward. And the midfield of Lobotka, Anguissa, and Zielinski, the moment for these 3 midfielders is fantastic to watch. Look, I absolutely love Kivica Kvaratskhelia. Try and say that 3 times in a row. Kivica Kvaratskhelia is an absolute baller. Been watching this guy since Ruben Kazan. I'm like, who is this Georgian winger? But he is going to be a huge player in the Champions League this season. And he's going to show the quality that he has. Ruthless, determination, and is not afraid of the moments. So Kivica, Victor Osimhen, they can be a lethal duo in the Champions League. I still worry about them when it comes defensively. Because, look, they've added Kim Min-jae, Perrin Rahmani. Meret, the goalkeeper, I'm a little bit iffy still about. If they could add Keylor Navas, Napoli will be a very dangerous team in the Champions League. I think they have enough quality to make it through the group and finish in second place. Won't be easy. They're going to have to improve their European away record because that hasn't been the greatest in the last couple of seasons. But Napoli, rejuvenated Napoli will finish second position in the group. First place, I have Liverpool. Look, I know Liverpool haven't been the greatest at the beginning of this season. They just won 9-0 against Bournemouth, but Bournemouth, unfortunately for me, I have to say they don't look like a Premier League side. So that's a good confidence booster heading into the season. The worry thing that Liverpool could face is, of course, the midfield, which all Liverpool fans have talked about. Can the midfield step up in European nights against quality midfielders across Europe? And attacking-wise, Salah has to be on point, because if Salah isn't on form, this side could be hurt. But then you look at the 9 goals. He didn't score any of them, and it didn't assist on any of them. I'm looking at Luis Diaz. He has to match the goal tally of Sadio Mane, who obviously left to Bayern Munich. Luis Diaz is a big year for him. And of course, then you have Darwin Núñez, you have Bobby Firmino, Jota when he comes back healthy. And defensively, they have leaked a little bit too many goals, in my opinion, at the start. There's been a lot of injuries, but Trent and Robbo, of course, they have to be on point. But I feel like Liverpool have enough quality. Obviously, being Champions League finalists last year, Liverpool are too good. But I do worry about them. If Liverpool underestimate Rangers or Ajax or Napoli in this group, they will lose. So Liverpool have to be on point mentally every game, but they will finish first in the group. Group B, we have Club Brugge, Porto, Atletico de Madrid, and Bayer Leverkusen. In fourth position, I have Club Brugge with new manager Karl Huijskens. Brugge will look to play spoilers, and new signings Jutgla from obviously Barcelona and Kasper Nielsen will provide goal scoring and creativity now that Charles de Ketelaere has left the side. And of course, you cannot write off this Club Brugge side. Yes, they did perform quite decently last year in the Champions League, even got a draw against PSG, and they will fancy their chances against Porto, Atletico, and Bayer Leverkusen, because those sides are not the top echelon Champions League teams. But so Club Brugge could take the games to those sides. Now, do I believe they can finish third, second, or first? Not quite. Charles de Ketelaere is a fantastic player, and when you lose a player like that, Noah Lang has to step up then. I'm looking at Noah Lang and I'm looking at Jutgla. If these two guys can ball, Club Brugge could have a chance, but I think they'll finish fourth in the group. Third place, I have Bayer Leverkusen. I'm worried about Bayer Leverkusen. They're not clinical enough. Defensively, they're all over the place. And I mean, that is the case last season. But when this side are not clinical in front of goal, they just leak way too many goals. Way too many goals. And Wirtz, it seems to be a big miss because he brings that little bit of creativity and is able to drive with the ball from the defense to the attack. So Florian Wirtz is obviously going to be a big miss, and he's going to miss obviously the group stage and will be out until I believe January or February, if memory serves me right. But with quality players like Patrick Schick, Diaby, Hlosek, Osman up top, this side should be able to score goals. But defensively, can they keep clean sheets? That is the biggest question mark when it comes to Bayer Leverkusen this season in the Champions League. So for that reason, I have them in third position. I just don't think they'll be able to keep clean sheets. And attacking-wise, they are against two great defenses in Porto and Atletico de Madrid. So if they don't score, I just don't see them winning. So they're in third position. Second position, I have Porto. Conceição side will always be threatening. Even after selling Fabio Vieira, Vitinha. Porto have a strong side with Evan Nielsen and Taremi up top, plus still Pepe. Pepe. You gotta love Pepe at the back. And Conceição is a great manager. He doesn't need a whole lot to work with. He just needs his couple players he can build the side around, and that's the way Conceição does. And he always elevates the players to their potential. So I love Conceição, and I think they'll be good enough to finish second in the group. And remember last season what happened between Atletico and Porto, right? In Porto, it was Royal Rumble settings. So second position for Porto. And in first, it will be Atletico de Madrid. Even though Atleti don't have an identity at the moment, it just seems like Simeone is stuck in two minds. Does he want to be a bit more attacking? Does he still want to be the defensive mastermind that he is? I feel like they're stuck in two minds. What's the best front two? Looking like right now, Morata and João Felix. But there's so much quality in this team that if they don't finish first in this group, I think it's a disappointment because they have quality in the midfield, they have quality in the wing backs, they have quality in defense, and they have a great goalkeeper. And don't even talk about the attack. My God, they have options for days. So Atletico, they should finish first in the group. And if they don't, I'll say it again. It's a massive disappointment. So first position for Atleti. Group C, we have Victoria Plzen, Inter Milan, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich. So fourth position, I think it's pretty easy to say. Unfortunately for Victoria Plzen, my God, they got a group of death. But you know what? It's a huge occasion for them. For a side they were almost going to be bankrupt last year. Not a lot of people know that about Victoria Pleasant. They were kind of unlikely Czech league winners. So shout out to Victoria Pleasant. I actually watched this side here in Finland play against Hoiko. Very defensively strong, and their goalkeeper Stanek is amazing. And he's of course made a couple appearances for the Czech national team, and he's going to have to be superhuman every single game in this group if Victoria Pleasant want to even pick up a point. I'm sorry to any Victoria Pleasant fans out there, it is going to be very difficult to pick up a point. So 4th position for Pleasant. 3rd place I have Inter Milan. No doubt Inter will want to make a statement going into a difficult group. Squad rotation will be key, and I'm just looking at the 2 wingbacks, and one in particular, Gosens. If Gosens can show that form that he did with Atalanta and Germany at the Euros, Inter have a chance to get out of this group. Because I see Gosens, and it seems like the injury is affecting his play a little bit. I'm looking at the right side. Dumfries is good, and Dumfries has had a good start to the season, but it's down to Gosens now to step up. Look, Lautaro and Lukaku are a lethal duo. If they can play up to their potential, they can score goals in this group, because defensively, do Barca and Bayern look the strongest? No, so Lukaku and Lautaro can feast. Now, midfield, very good. Defensively, obviously got to be organized, but those 3 center backs of Bastoni, De Vrij, and Skriniar are good, and Handanovic in goal has to be on point. Any mistakes, and we could see Onana be in a Champions League game. So I think 3rd position for Inter. I just don't think they have enough to overtake Barcelona or Bayern in this group. 2nd place, I have Barcelona. Can Barcelona finally compete in the Champions League? After many years of embarrassment, because they've been taking a lot of embarrassing defeats. The biggest question mark I have with Barcelona is, what is Xavi's best 11? And maybe Xavi doesn't even know. He loves to rotate the midfield, loves to rotate the defense, loves to rotate the attack, because he has the options to do it compared to last season. But in the Champions League, you must find the best 11, because you're going up against the best in Europe. And defensively, who will be starting at centre back? Will it be Araujo and Christensen, Eric Garcia and Christensen, Piqué Araujo, Koundé Araujo? There's a lot of options, so Xavi must find that 2 centre back pairing to keep the likes of Sadio Mane, Lukaku and Lautaro quiet. Because no doubt, Barcelona can score the goals. It's just a matter of, can they keep a couple of clean sheets or limit the opponents to 1 or 2 goals. But Barca looks scary. Lewandowski, Rafinha, Dembele, try stop that front 3. Please, try and stop it. So it's going to be fascinating to watch when Lewandowski returns, of course, to Munich, and see what the reception he gets and see how he will play in front of his old crowd. But 2nd place for Barcelona, I just don't think they have enough defensively at least, or haven't shown defensively at least enough. 1st place, it is Bayern Munich. Well, I guess they didn't need Lewandowski. 7 against Bochum, 6 against Eintracht Frankfurt. It seems like Mane has been playing with Bayern Munich for many, many years. The chemistry they have up top, and the fluidity and the movement of the front 3 or front 4, whatever formation Nagelsmann plays, it looks like it's scary. Now, defensively as well, big question mark. Upamecano and De Ligt have to be good, or Lucas Hernandez. That's the biggest question mark when it comes to Bayern. They will dominate games, they will dominate possessions, they will create chances. The 2 biggest question marks is, can they be clinical enough, and defensively, can they limit the mistakes that they make? Because over the weekend against Borussia Mönchengladbach, Upamecano makes a huge mistake, and that's why they dropped points, or at least drew the game, even though they had 20 shots on target, and Jan Sommer was brilliant. But Bayern looks scary. I just think now the options, and Nagelsmann can play the style of football he wants, where there's a lot of movement, similar to his RB Leipzig days when they made it to the semifinals. Bayern look good, they have the chemistry. 1st place for Bayern Munich. Group D, where we have Tottenham, Olympique de Marseille, Eintracht Frankfurt, and Sporting Club de Portugal. In 4th place, I have Sporting, still with the great manager Ruben Amorim. I absolutely love this manager, but Sporting are in a little bit of a mini rebuild. I mean, when you lose players like Matheus Nunes and Palhinha, you're going to be affected quite a bit. So I'm looking at Morita and Ugarte in the midfield to step up, and they don't really have a striker to get them goals. Yes, they might have gone Trincao and they still have Pedro Gonçalves. Who is going to score the goals in the big European nights? Maybe Pedro Gonçalves, of course. He did that last season. But that midfield worries me a lot for Sporting. And with no real recognized striker, who's going to get them the goals other than Pedro Gonçalves? So I think Sporting, they were fantastic last year in the group stage against obviously Ajax and Dortmund, but this season, I feel like they could struggle a little bit, even though they're in an easier group compared to last year, for example. 4th place for Sporting. 3rd place, I have Eintracht Frankfurt. Finally, Eintracht Frankfurt are back in the Champions League. First time since 1960 What an occasion for the incredible fans that they have. And what an incredible occasion they will have when it's Olympique Marseille against Eintracht Frankfurt. Those fans, wow, that's going to be some atmosphere. Now, they're looking for a new identity, right? Oliver Glasner was playing mostly with the 5 in the back formation last year, but now Kostic leaving, they had to kind of rotate and move their formation, maybe playing more of the 4 in the back formation to accompany Götze and Moani. Moani looks like a good striker. Maybe he could be the answer, obviously with Borge as well there, but Götze is kind of the creative glue for this side alongside Daichi Kamada. So I do like Eintracht Frankfurt, but is this squad good enough? Do they have the quality? I don't think so, but I cannot wait to see how they will do in the Champions League and being back in it. So third place for Eintracht Frankfurt. Second place, Olympique de Marseille. New manager Igor Tudor. Even though he got booed in the first home game. Think about that. Manager hasn't even had one game with his side and he already got booed. Incredible. 10 style of play that Igor Tudor plays kind of suits Marseille. When you look at the players that they now have and playing a 5 in the back formation, Klaus on the right wing back and Tavares, who looks like a brand new player compared to what he was like at Arsenal. He's turning into a goal scoring machine, Tavares. Obviously, then you have Suarez and Sanchez up top. A lot of attacking options for Marseille. Still got Dimitri Payet. I like the way. I think Olympique Marseille are building something really good, and I like Tudor. I really do like this manager. He did a great job with Hellas Verona, so I think Olympique Marseille have enough to finish second in the group, and this is their best opportunity. If they were in a group like Group C or Group E, I don't think they have enough quality to beat like Milan or Chelsea, but they have enough of an opportunity to beat Eintracht Frankfurt and Sporting to get to that second spot, so second place for Olympique de Marseille. And in first place, it should be Tottenham Hotspur. They will be clear favorites. If Conte doesn't get top spot, my God, I know his European record isn't the greatest, and we've seen that over time with Chelsea or Inter Milan or Juventus. It isn't great, but he has enough players to rotate and still play the Conte way. They will be prepared. They will rise to the occasion. They have too much. Harry Kane is an incredible player. Heung-min Son, Kulusevski, or you put in Richarlison. Look, Tottenham looking good at the start of the season, defensively organized, and attacking-wise, when they're on the counter-attack, they always look like they're going to score. So first place for Tottenham Hotspur. We move on to Group E, where we have RB Salzburg, Milan, Chelsea, and Dinamo Zagreb. In fourth position, I have Dinamo Zagreb, under manager Ante Čačić. The side will be underdogs in this group with dangerous players like Orsic, Baturina, and Petkovic. By the way, Petkovic scored an incredible bicycle kick goal against Bodo Glimt in the qualifiers. So Zagreb won't be a joke, but they will find it difficult for them to progress. Also, Livakovic has to be a superhuman as well. He has made a lot of mistakes recently, so Livakovic needs to be on the top of his game. I don't see how Dinamo Zagreb can progress, but hey, miracles are made to happen. Dinamo Zagreb, fourth position in the group. Third place, I have RB Salzburg. Even though, once again, Salzburg selling key players, the recruitment by Salzburg is amazing. And when you have talents like Benjamin Sesko, Sucic, plus adding Fernando from Shakhtar Donetsk, Salzburg will look to use their intense style of play to cause an upset and progress out of the group, similar to what they did last year. In a more favorable group, I would say this time around, they have two European giants in Milan and Chelsea. So RB Salzburg are going to give it a good try, and they do play in a very intense style of football. And I do like it, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be enough. So I think third place for RB Salzburg. Second place, it will be Chelsea. I think Chelsea will be second. This Chelsea team are definitely more suited to cup competitions. Maybe Thomas Tuchel is as a manager as well. The midfield is a big worry for me. Kante, Kovacic, injury prone. If you're going to rely on Jorginho and Conor Gallagher, you're asking for trouble if you are Chelsea. But they still have time in the transfer window to address those issues. Plus, the front line needs to be clinical, especially Sterling. And Kai Havertz, he needs to find what position he is, because he just looks lost on the pitch nowadays. Even he's got the talent, but he just looks lost. No doubt about that. They have a great defense. Now adding Fofana, Thiago Silva, Koulibaly, Mendy, and goal. Not a lot of teams are going to score past that defense, so I think Chelsea have enough to finish second, and they'll give it a good run against Milan. In first place, I have Milan. Even though they were last place in the group in last year's Champions League group stage, the Milan youngsters will want to improve on that. It was a very disappointing performance, but another year of Leao improvement, another year of Tonali improvement, and Benacer controlling the midfield. Milan are looking good. That year of Champions League football, under the belt. These players are much more prepared for this situation, plus the leadership of Giroud, Ibrahimovic, and then of course Tomori returning back to Stamford Bridge, wanting to send a message to all the Chelsea fans. I think Milan have the capability of finishing first in this group, and they have a lot of different weapons now. Charles de Ketelaere, Rafael Leao, Junior Messias, Giroud, Origi, Rebic. So Pioli, great manager. I think Milan have enough to finish first in the group. We move on to Group F, where we have Shakhtar Donetsk, RB Leipzig, Real Madrid, and Celtic. In fourth position, I think it will be Shakhtar Donetsk. New manager Jovicic has a huge job on his hands, with all the Brazilians leaving basically. Dodo, David Neres, Fernando, and Ismaili, most notably leaving the club. So the squad is depleted. And they still have some good players when you think of Lassina Traore, the former Ajax striker who obviously tore his ACL last year, Mudryk and Matviyenko. Shakhtar Donetsk still have good players. They haven't had the greatest preparation. They played a lot of friendlies, even though I think last weekend the Ukrainian league started. But is it enough in this Champions League? It's going to be difficult. Shakhtar Donetsk to finish fourth in the group. Third place, I have Celtic. Back in the Champions League since 2018, and Celtic have started off the season on fire. 5 wins out of 5, 21 goals scored, and 1 goal conceded. So Celtic will come into this Champions League group with huge confidence, and they should be, especially in front of Celtic Park on a Champions League night. Jota, Furuhashi, and Leo Abada are on fire. So those front three, RB Leipzig and Real, have to be careful of those front three because they are very, especially Jota. This guy looks like an absolute baller, I must say. So Celtic have enough to finish third. They will challenge RB Leipzig. Do they have enough to beat Leipzig home and away? Most likely home. Away? Could be a question mark. I think Celtic to finish third in the group. Second place, it will be RB Leipzig. Tedesco's side have the potential to be dangerous in the Champions League. They have a lot of quality all over the pitch. But it just seems like Tedesco doesn't know what his best attacking options are. He starts Timo Werner, he starts Andre Silva, obviously Nkunku's going to start every game. So that's the big issue Tedesco has to find. What is his best 11 and best front three basically? Who will play in the 10 spot? Will it be Dominik Szoboszlai, Dani Olmo, and then obviously who will be the two strikers? But at least he has options to rotate. But adding David Raum and Timo Werner and keeping Nkunku, that was the best thing. Keeping Nkunku. If Leipzig can click, they can be dangerous. Maybe it won't happen right away, but just watch out. Leipzig have all the talent in the world, but they will not be beating Real Madrid in this group. Second place for RB Leipzig. And first place, no doubt about it, will be Real Madrid. Undoubtedly the favorites for this group, and they should be going for 6 wins out of 6 because they have the talent. And even though Casemiro is gone, Tchouaméni was a fantastic pickup. This guy is going to be a great midfielder for Real Madrid for many years to come. And when you have the best player in the world, Karim the Dream Benzema, Real Madrid are going to go for UCL glory once again. This is what they do. This is what Real do. They go for the Champions League glory. So, first place for Real. We move on to Group G, where we have Dortmund, Sevilla, Man City, and FC Copenhagen. So in fourth position, I have FC Copenhagen. Yes, the Torres side have started off inconsistently so far in the Superliga, so a tall order ahead for them. Matty Ryan will need to be massive in goal, and he's been a great pickup for them and made some key saves against Trabzonspor in the qualifiers, and Victor Claesson on the wing will have to be a consistent goal scorer if FC Copenhagen want to have any chance of advancing. But if they look at the play of Dortmund and Sevilla, they should fancy their chances, but they need to be much more consistent in the league because over the weekend, they lost again. So I think FC Copenhagen, fourth position. Third place, I have Sevilla. Lopetegui under pressure? It ain't looking good for old Lopetegui. Defensively, they were so strong last season. That was the blueprint for this Sevilla side and their success. Defensively strong. But when you get rid of Diego Carlos and Koundé, you are going to struggle. And when they didn't score enough goals last year, at least defensively, they would keep a clean sheet. Now, I don't know what Sevilla are doing. They look all over the place. Lopetegui doesn't know what his best formation is, what players to play. I don't know. When you have quality players like Rafa Mir and Rakitic and these guys, you should be doing much better. I fear for Sevilla, and maybe they just want to drop down to the Europa League because it is Sevilla at the end of the day, but I think they will finish third in the group. Second place, it will be Borussia Dortmund. So Terzic needs to find an identity with this team. With the unfortunate news of Sebastian Haller, and obviously prayers up to Sebastian Haller, Modeste will need to step up in his absence, and like it has been for the last couple of seasons. Can this side just keep a clean sheet? Okay, they did a couple times in the Bundesliga so far this season, but they can leak goals like that, like they did against Werder Bremen. I feel bad for Nico Schlotterbeck. This guy is an amazing center back, but the right side of center back, you don't know if it's Mats Hummels or Nicolas Sule, if they're going to be on their game on that day. And they have to be in this group, especially against Manchester City. But I like the pickups that Dortmund have made. Adeyemi, of course, Modeste. They've made some good pickups. Now it's just about gelling the side and Terzic finding identity with this team. I think they will finish second in the group. And in first place, it will be Manchester City. No questions needed. They are so good. My God, they could easily score 4 or 5 past any team in the world. That's how scary they are. And Erling Braut Haaland is an absolute beast. Maybe defensively they have some question marks, but they can fix that up. They will dominate this group. They'll win 5 games or 6 games easily. By match day 4, they would have already qualified to the round of 16. Easily in first place. It shouldn't even be a question mark. Manchester City. And we are into the final group, Group H. And in Group H, we have Maccabi Haifa, PSG, Juventus, and Benfica. In 4th position, I have Maccabi Haifa, back in the Champions League for the first time since 2010. A great achievement, and beating the likes of Olympiacos and Cervana Zvezda away in the second leg. My God, they have gone through the gauntlet, but my God, they have been impressive, I must say that. They will look to pull off 1 or 2 upsets in this group. Can they do it though? Who knows? It is the Champions League at the end of the day. 2 players to watch out from this side. Pierrot, the Haitian striker, it has been a fantastic pickup for Maccabi Haifa. And then, of course, the attacking midfielder, Sherry. But Sherry and Pierrot, are they enough to advance out of this group? Unfortunately not. But if Maccabi Haifa pick up 1 win, the fans will go crazy. 4th place for Maccabi Haifa. Now, who will finish 3rd and 2nd? Because I think we all know who's going to finish 1st. 3rd place, I have Juventus. Look, Allegri ball. I don't know what to say. They actually performed well against Roma for 45 minutes. And maybe Miretti is the answer in the 10th spot until Pogba gets healthy. But yet again, I don't know what to say about this side. Sometimes they just look absolutely clueless going forward, where they just play it to Kostic, and Kostic doesn't even want to take on the opponent. He just tries to cross it into Dusan Vlahovic. There needs to be much more creativity with this side. They are missing Di Maria, of course, and they're missing Pogba. When these players get back healthy, they will be a threat. But how good will they be when those players come back? That is the biggest question mark. They have all the talent. It's just Allegri. I don't think he knows how to use these players. I really don't. They could struggle, and I must say Benfica are playing excellent football. For those reasons, and maybe I will be wrong, and I will be happily wrong if Allegri can change his ways, Juventus at the moment will finish 3rd in the group. And in 2nd place, I have Benfica. Have you seen this side play this year? Have you seen the pickups they have made? Roger Schmidt was an excellent hiring. And he has this side playing fluid football, pressing, the ball movement is quick. And the pickups they made, David Neres and Enzo Fernandez. 2 names to watch out. You guys might know David Neres, of course, from Ajax and Shakhtar Donetsk. And Enzo Fernandez is a baller in the midfield. And when you have Rafa Silva and Gilberto, who have been excellent so far, plus Gonzalo Ramos, I think this Benfica side can surprise once again and finish 2nd in the group. And maybe make it to the quarterfinals. But that's a big maybe. But for this group, 2nd place for Benfica. And in 1st place, it is Paris Saint-Germain, PSG. Do I need to say anything else? Galtier has the side playing beautiful football. Neymar, Mbappe, Messi looking great. Vitinha, Verratti, or Renato Sanchez are balling in the midfield. And if they can just defensively keep clean sheets and be organized, this side should be making it at least to the final because they have all the talent in the world to do so. But that will be the question mark when the knockout stages come. PSG will easily win this group with probably 6 wins out of 6. 1st place, PSG. So there you have it, the Champions League group stage predictions. Remember, if you haven't done so already, give your predictions in the comment section down below. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Those 2 things are free. So come on, just do it, please. For your boy, we're on the road to 4,000 subscribers. Further ado, enjoy the Champions League. It begins next week and I cannot wait for it. We're going to have a live preview of match day 1 and then a live review on Thursday. Have a beautiful day. Stay safe in this crazy world and adios.